This is a frozen mountain village running in Unreal Engine. Every building, every prop, the character, the snow, the sky, I didn't model a single of them. All of it was generated with AI inside the editor using a plugin called StudioTwin. I gave it a folder of concept images and it gave me the village. In this video, I built the whole thing from an empty project and I show you what each step costs. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are inside the Unreal Engine project that, well, looks just super awesome. And well, when I hit play, I can take a look at the different props, at the different houses that we have, the mountains, all the environment, like, looks super awesome. It's a very complete scene, super visual, like, I don't know, it looks just so good and so beautiful for me. And even like here in the editor, we can fly a little bit around this and take a more a deeper look at the details and all the elements that this scene that we've built has. So how did everything start? Of course, from some kind of concept. So I wanted to create some kind of frozen village. So the first step that I followed is creating some reference images of what exactly I wanted to create, as well as a character, for example. Then once that I knew that I wanted to create a village, I created some layout images, okay, to know how to exactly organize this village. And I particularly like this kind of circular layout, and was, let's say, more or less the layout that I ended up following, okay? But well, here you can see like all the creative process behind this idea. Once that I have this into place, I started putting together the different assets that I needed for my game. So this means the different buildings, characters, also parts of the terrain, basically the mountains, and of course the different props that then I will need to place inside my game. And just if you're wondering, I was using GPT 5.6 Sol to go back and forth with all these ideas and to create all these concept and reference images. And at least nowadays, like, creating all these concept images and all this is super cheap, at least in Codex. So now here I am in a completely empty Unreal Engine project, and well, what we'll need to install inside of it is called StudioTwin. And this basically has a lot of toolkits, okay, that you can directly use, okay, inside your Unreal Engine project. You're gonna be finding a link to it in the description. Then over here, you will go to API keys, click on create key, give it a name, and optionally a description. Then over here you will have the API key that you will need to copy. Of course, do not share it with anybody. You can either install it from Fab or from a zip file. You will also find this link in the description. In this case, I'm using Unreal Engine 5.8. Now let's cut this folder that was inside the zip. Inside here, I will need to create a plugins folder exactly with this name. And inside of it, I'm gonna paste the StudioTwin folder. So the structure is exactly like this. Also, you can directly install it inside Unreal Engine if you want. Then after restarting Unreal Engine, you can go to Edit, Project Settings. Here look for Studio, and directly StudioTwin is gonna appear. And here you will just need to paste in your API key. Check that here. It tells you that the API key is indeed valid. Then what I have here is a folder with all my concept images, or well, actually reference images for the 3D models I want to generate, which I directly imported inside my Unreal Engine project. To use this is super simple. Let's, for example, right click on this image, and over here we can find some of the tools of StudioTwin. For example, image to 3D mesh. You have two main 3D model generators, but the one that's gonna provide you the best quality is gonna be Tripo 3D, and the model version, let's go with detailed. Then generate mesh, and as you can see, it's gonna start right over here. Here, for example, you can see a comparison. Okay, this is the detailed version of Tripo. Then we also had the other version of Tripo for low poly models. But as you can see, it doesn't work that well right now. And the other option was Hunian, that while it is good, okay, as you can see, it doesn't have very high quality textures. And well, the same thing for the characters, okay. You can see that triple detail is super good. Then the low poly version here did a good job, but still, well, there are some issues with the face, for example, or with some parts of the clothing. but well, it was usable at least, or well, who knew directly. I have no words, okay? That's why for this village in specific, for every single model, we used tripo in detail mode. The cool thing is that I can also queue multiple generations if I want to. So for example, while I have my character getting generated, I can, for example, right click on this mountain, image to 3D mesh, tripo 3D, and let's go with a detailed version, generate mesh. Okay, so the first generation has just finished, and as I can see here in the mesh toolkit folder, I can directly find it. So I can double click on the static mesh, and as you can see, well, what tripo is able to do is just amazing. Looks super clean. And here, okay, we have the other one, which are the mountains, okay, that also look very awesome. And well, then it's a matter of dragging and dropping the different elements inside your scene. Let's also put this one over here, for example. And well, of course, you manually, okay, have to go over here, use the scale tool, okay, and move everything, okay, and start creating your actual layout, okay. So of course, while StudioTwin and different AI tools can help you with the concepts, then make those concepts into actual 3D models, you're still the one who has to go inside the engine, okay, position stuff, create a good layout that feels cool, etc. And not only that, okay, but also have the idea of saying, okay, I want to actually create a frozen village with these props, with these different buildings, etc. So it's not just like opening an AI tool and the AI does everything for you. You are still the pilot of this, and the AI is just a copilot, an assistant, a helper, however you wanna call it. And then, okay, it is just a matter of organizing these meshes into different folders, renaming stuff, etc. until, well, you have all the meshes that you want. Now, to continue talking about the tools, let's go to the tools tab, let's scroll down, and the next one I want to cover is text to material. So here you literally just paste in a prompt, select the resolution, for example, let's go with 2K, and with this I think we're gonna be just fine. And well, then over here I have the material, which I can directly drag and drop inside the plane, for example, and it starts to look very interesting, but we can double click on it and adjust, okay, a few parameters. More in specific, the tiling, okay? So if we make this, for example, 15 or a little bit less, maybe 10, okay, in both axes, as you can see, you will start having a very good result. Just if you are curious about the materials that they have inside the village, it's the exact same thing, just a snow material. And then I also had this ice material that, well, I didn't end up using, but I think that also looked very sick. Another one that is super cool is from the environment toolkit, and it's called text to environment map. So here basically you can describe the environment. So for example, night sky over frozen mountains, moonlight, well, all these kind of things. In this case, it is a dark scene, so I'm gonna select it as the brightness level, and you will click on generate environment map. And this, as you can see, gives me on the one hand the texture and then the texture cube, okay? Why is this actually useful, for example? Because now we can come back to the tools and use environment map to world, load in the environment map we've just created for the foreground elements. Let's put something like mountains, then the quality and the world type. This is what you will end up having. So now you can double click on this data asset, and this has the sky map texture as well as a world mesh, and even in the foreground elements you can, for example, load in the mountain. You can also set up a backdrop size and then place world in level. Okay, here I have it. I'm just positioning it correctly, exactly where my scene is. And well, now here we have like all the elements that we have created. As you can see, look very cool. Now, if for example you change the backdrop size to 500, you will see that this is a little bit smaller now. And the last tool that I want to show you is text to sound effect. So for example, a cold storm, I can enable loop. And for the duration, let's say, I don't know, 10 seconds, for example. For footsteps, let's do something like this, but duration, let's set it to automatic, just so that the AI decides on its own. And well, here we have them. So this is the storm, and well, these are the steps, for example, okay? And also, okay, they have a motion toolkit, as you can see, which we'll probably cover in other video. Now, the last step, whenever you have everything like set up, you like the different 3D models, the textures, the backdrop, okay, and all that, you can either directly start positioning everything yourself, but if you want some help from AI, we did use, for example, 5.6 Sol from Codex, and also Opus 5 and Fable 5, okay, when Opus 5 was not yet released. And the thing is that these tools by default can't interact with the Unreal Engine editor, meaning adding new objects in the hierarchy, actually seeing the scene, okay? So for this you need to install the official Unreal Engine MCP. First of all, make sure that you are using Unreal Engine 5.8, then open up Edit, Editor Preferences. Here in general, we need to scroll down a little bit until we find Model Context Protocol and enable Auto Start Server, just to make sure the MCP is always available. But actually, okay, before doing that, you will need to go to Edit Plugins and just look for Unreal MCP and enable it, okay? And then you will need to copy this command, and you can replace Cloud Code with a different client. I'm gonna be leaving a link to this in the description. And then, okay, we just need to paste it in over here, sorry, like this, hit enter, okay, and that would finish the setup. Lastly, just ask your agent if it can actually use the Unreal Engine MCP, and right away it should tell you that it does. And well, from here you can tell it to, for example, add any kind of Niagara system, okay, to create these snowflakes, position the props however you want to in any layout. Of course, make sure to upload any kind of reference images that you could have already created. But once again, this part of positioning everything and actually creating a composition, a lot of times you have to create it yourself. The cool thing is that also you can see exactly your credits usage inside their dashboard. So with this information, we put together this presentation so that you know how much this actually costs, only taking account the generations from StudioTwin, which was around $18. This value was calculated using this value, 80 credits per dollar. And in this case, we use something like 1,400 credits. And therefore, the village costs something like $17. This does consider some iteration, okay, in the props, of course, and well, the image to 3D model generator, well, was the most expensive, of course. But well, for example, every building, prop, and character, at least cost us something like 56 cents, approximately, okay? So well, I think that overall it was very good and was worth the money. And okay, what you saw on camera specifically was just around $3, because we didn't generate like that many 3D models. So in total, okay, for the two villages, let's say, it was around 20. But just like the actual village was around 17. A whole village generated inside Unreal, and I didn't model any of it. My link is in the first line of the description. Sign up there and you can use StudioTwin for free. And when you're ready for more credits, use the code Letta10 at checkout. 10% off, first 100 people only. StudioTwin runs inside your editor and generates the meshes, the animations, materials, the sky, and more. Go build something with it and show me what you made.